Regis Philbin. Regis Philbin was host of the long-running talk shows Live with Regis and Kathy Lee and Live with Regis and Callie, as well as the first host of the US version of the popular game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. His long career in media began in the 1950s when he was a page for the Two Night Show, graduating in 1962 to become the show's announcer. Later, he was Joy Bishop's sidekick on The Joy Bishop Show, then hosted his own late night and morning shows before the 1985 launch of Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. The chatty morning show gave Philbin a chance to do what he did best, entertain audiences spontaneously, and with its 1988 syndication, he became a household name. After the departure of co-host Kathy Lee Gifford, Philbin continued on with new co-host Callie Ripa, as well as launching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He later hosted other shows, including the first season of America's Got Talent, $1 Million Password, and the 2010 Daytime Emmy Awards. Philbin also appeared in scripted television shows and movies, often playing himself, and he had a singing career. Sherman Hemsley. Sherman Hemsley played characters known to be wisecracking, wheezy, loving, boisterous fools which America and the entire world loved with kind-heartedly. Sherman Alexander Hemsley, Air Force veteran and actor, was born on February 1, 1938 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His father, William Hemsley, worked at a printing press while his mother worked at various factories during the war. As a child, Hemsley was introduced to acting during schools, where the teachers would ask students to play different characters. The first play he did as a kid in school was about fire prevention, and Hemsley played the fire. He eventually ended up dropping out of school and joined the Air Force. During his adolescence, he never considered acting as a profession until after he served in the military. Hemsley then moved from South Philadelphia, where he had spent most of his life, to New York City. He worked graveyard shift as a post office clerk during the night and actor during the day. He considered New York the best place to be, as it had several acting workshops and theater companies, such as the Negro Ensemble Company, NEC, founded by Robert Hooks, which helped actresses obtain roles on theater. His former co-star Roxy Roker was also part of the NEC alumni. Hemsley made his professional acting debut on the Broadway play Purely and toured with the show for a year. In 1971, while on tour for Purely, he received a call from producer, creator, writer Norman Lear. Lear wanted Hemsley to audition for a role which was going to be part of his sitcom All in the Family, 1971. Due to his commitment to the Purely project, Hemsley declined the role. Norman Lear said he would have the role open for him, and Hemsley joined the cast 2 years later. Hemsley and co-star Isabel Sanford were chosen to do a spin-off the show All in the Family called The Jeffersons, 1975. Despite the age difference between Hemsley and Sanford, 20 years apart, many describe their on-screen marriage as truly hilarious. Hemsley was nominated for a Golden Globe for his outstanding performance as George Jefferson. The Jeffersons turned out to be a success, spanning 11 seasons ending in 1985. After The Jeffersons, Hemsley steadily started working on other projects, and in 1986 joined the NBC sitcom 1986, where he played religious deacon Ernest Farr. The show ran for 5 seasons until 1991. Hemsley then made his debut as a voice actor as part of the ABC Live action series Dinosaurs, 1991. Hemsley played Bradley P. Richfield, Earl's cruel boss. The show ran successfully for 4 seasons. In 1997, the remaining cast of The Jeffersons had a reunion on the Rolanda talk show, still having the same charm they did decades ago. Isabel Sanford and Sherman Hemsley made television guest appearances together on well-known television programs such as The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air (1990) and were in commercials for The Gap, Old Navy and Danny's. Hemsley and Mola guest starred on the TBS show House of Pain 2006 and 2011. Sherman Hemsley will be remembered as an actor who was on shows that addressed serious issues, but also one who brought laughter into homes every week. May his soul rest in peace. Ed Everett, both a leading and a supporting actor in movies and on television, name a role: lawyer, airline pilot. Rick Foreman, doctor, gunslinger, real-life person, good guy, bad guy, and Chet Everett has probably played it. He was born Raymond Lee Chairman on July 11, 1937 in South Bend, Indiana. In high school, he did stage plays and wanted to become an actor. After he graduated from Wayne University, Chet came to Hollywood and signed a contract with Warner Brothers. He first became known playing a deputy in the short-lived television series The Dakotas 1962, but acted in a number of supporting roles such as Get Yourself a College Girl 1964 and Made in Paris 1966, and played the title role in Johnny Tiger 1966 and Return of the Gunfighter 1966. He was probably best known for his 7-year run as Dr. Joe Gannon in the television series Medical Center 1969, which earned him 2 Golden Globe nominations. After Medical Center was cancelled, Chet starred in the miniseries Centennial 1978 and played the title role in Haggard 1980. In the early 80s, Chet was in television films including The Intruder Within 1981 and did a number of guest appearances on The Love Boat 1977 and Murder, She Wrote 1984.